Good morning, Grace United Methodist Church. It is Sunday, not July, what am I thinking? This cold weather's got me wishing it was hot. January 27th. Glad you're here with us. Hope you felt welcome coming in here with us this morning. If you didn't feel welcome, let me know. We want to make sure you feel welcome. That's the key. We want you to be here, we want you coming back, we want you telling your friends, hey, there's a great church down the road, Grace United Methodist Church. Bottom line, we're glad you're here. Hope you invite someone back with you next week. A few announcements I would like to share with you this morning. Just first off, last Sunday, Grace on Wheels, which is a ministry of Grace United Methodist Church, went out, and what we do is we go and we feed those who are less fortunate than we are. We help out senior citizens, provide them with food. Bottom line, we were able to feed 130 folks last week, and so a huge thank you to all of you who helped prepare the food, who helped wash the dishes, who helped deliver the food. Thank you for being the hands and feet of Christ. That is what the church is about. That is why the church exists. So we appreciate that. Another thing, we hope that you got an order of worship on your way in this morning. There's a lot of important information in there. We cannot take all the time in the world to read it to you. Hope that you will take a little initiative and read it yourself. There's also a newsletter for the month of January. We should have a new one coming up for February in just a few days. So make sure you pick one of those up too. One thing I do want to point out to you on the back of your order of worship this morning is the Youth Spaghetti Plate fundraiser. Lee wrote a novel about all that, so make sure you read it. There's a lot. I had to take a break halfway through because it was so much. But anyway, a lot of great information there. He covers all the bases. The youth are selling tickets for that Spaghetti Plate fundraiser today after worship. We ask that you will purchase one of those, help support the youth ministry here at Grace, and that as they go on their trip this summer, they will be able to fund it through mainly fundraisers instead of having to come out of their own pocket. So we're thankful for them, thankful for the work they're doing. Another thing I want to make you aware of is, I mentioned it last Sunday, this Wednesday the 30th, Matt Patch, who we support through our missions budget, and a couple of the guys and folks going with him to Kenya will be here on Wednesday the 30th. They'll be sharing what they have done thus far through 61 Project there in Kenya. 61 Project is based off the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, and what the prophet says there. I ask you to read that, take it into note. I'll have this newsletter from Matt on the board outside of mine and Kathy's office in the hallway. You can check that out, find out more information about him. But anyway, they will be here eating dinner with us at 6, then speaking with us at 7, and we'll be receiving a love offering for them. And if you're making a check out to with the work they're doing, make it out to Grace. Grace will cut one check for them in their mission there in Kenya. Final thing, and then I'm going to be quiet because my cohort this week is going to help me out. Final thing, there's a 1-month challenge on the back of your order of worship beginning in February. I want to challenge us, the church, to take a priority, take a step to make Sunday school a priority. Every Sunday morning at 9:15 we have this great thing here called Sunday School. It's an opportunity for us, the church, to break away from the almost 300 that we have in worship to that of smaller groups and learning together, growing together. But it's not just about Bible study. It's about growing together as brothers and sisters in Christ. And Miriam, you're going to talk a little bit about that, because we believe here at Grace that Christian education, the Sunday school hour, the small group time, that's pretty important to being a Christian. It's tough to be a Christian without that. I'm just going to throw that nugget out there before the sermon even starts. It is tough to be a Christian without the small group Sunday school that we have here. Talk to me a little bit about Sunday school, your involvement in Sunday school, differences made in your life.
One book we did, not a fan. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that you're sitting up in the stands rooting for Carolina. That is a fan. But what does it mean that you're not a fan of Jesus? It means you're a follower of Jesus. And that means a lot. This book and the things I learned in this is the reason I went to Salcahatchee this year. It changed my life and perspective I had on what it meant to change and follow Jesus. Lately, we've been looking at celebration of discipline. Last week, we studied prayer. We talked about in Matthew, it talks about how your prayers don't have to be wordy, and they can be simple. We also talked about how they can be childlike. It doesn't have to be hard, and that's what this book tells you. Things don't have to be hard. It's learning how to be a Christian, how to walk the walk. And that's what we're learning. And the perfect example is when we got in church Sunday, there is Precious Aiden. She said the most simple, beautiful prayer that I think I've ever heard. And then led us in the Lord's Prayer. It was childlike, it was simple, it was wonderful. Now this is my classroom. Kenny, follow me. I sit way over here. Now over this way, follow me again. Steve Sullivan sits here. Now I know Steve's a little scary, but that's okay. If you don't want to sit over here beside Steve, because there's an empty seat usually on either side of him, I'll come over here and I'll sit beside Steve. We got plenty of room here, and if it gets too busy, guess what? I'll sit on the floor. Of course, someone's going to have to help me get up. Come join us.
All right. So you've heard how it can change your life, how it can improve your relationship. But here's the deal: Sunday school can, because of the way it is designed, it can and it will if you will invest into it, make it a priority, make it a commitment. If you will try it, invest into it, it will change your life. It will change your relationship not only with God but with other people. There are several classes you can choose from. I'm going to run through those really fast. Growing in Grace, this is the classroom we're in right now. It's the one Miriam's a part of. Jim Roten teaches it. Kathy Bernard helps teach that. Bible 101, Frank Culbreth teaches that. Rayford Prince helps teach that class. The ladies' Bible class, that class is a blessing to this church. Lynn Grice teaches that. The men's class, or the Harry Powell Sunday school class, Mike Manley teaches that class. If you're a man and you want to be with just men in Sunday school, that's the class to go to. There's also a co-ed class, as these others have been, that we're not labeled ladies and men's. The others are co-ed, but there's another co-ed class, the Jack Woolbright class. Teresa Hessen helps teach that. Kathy Wilson helps teach that class. Rachel Blackburn helps teach that class. Then there's a class that meets in the conference room, which is on the other side of the kitchen, called the Truth Seekers. I teach that class, and so we invite you just to be a part of Sunday school, any Sunday, but especially beginning the month of February. We challenge you. Take the month challenge. Make a commitment to have you and your family here in Sunday school and see how much your life will be changed. Have a great rest of the day, and let's enjoy worshiping.